Good evening, friends, family, to those of you sitting on the fence to God and His Word. Shalom and blessings upon blessings to you and yours. On my radio program a few weeks back, I brought a message titled, "The Importance of Commas in the Teaching of the Rich Young Man." The importance of commas in the teaching of the rich young man. The rich young man is spoken of in both Matthew, Mark, and also in Luke. But I'm going to read it from Matthew, chapter 19. The event occurred during Jesus' walk with His followers and those most attuned to His messages. Prior to the rich young man's appearance, and Jesus had just blessed the children. Prior to that, He had spoken on divorce. Prior to that, He spoke about sins in the church. And prior to that, He had healed. Jesus was leading to something. And the rich young man was the perfect example to use. It was an event, it was not a parable, it was something that happened, and it was so important an event that 3 writers wrote about it. Matthew, Mark, and Luke. In Matthew, beginning in verse 16, it says that a man came up to Jesus and asked, "Teacher, what good thing must I do to have eternal life?" What good thing must I do to have eternal life? And Jesus' reply would stun this young man. "Why do you ask me about what is good? There is only one who is good. If you want to enter life, keep the commandments." Now, we're not certain if the rich young man was a Hebrew or not, but it would be assumed, and rightly so, when Jesus mentions to follow the commandments, to which the rich young man asks, "Which ones?" And Jesus replied, "You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. Not give false testimony. Honor your father and your mother. And love your neighbor as yourself. All of these I have kept," said the young man. "What do I still lack? What do I lack? What do we all lack?" What is the feeling that Jesus is leading to? It comes in the commas. Jesus answered, "If you want to be perfect, comma, go, comma, sell your possessions and give to the poor, comma, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, comma, follow me." Saddest part to this event is what occurs next. As the young man, in hearing this, and key on the word young, he went away sad because he had great wealth. Jesus waited a while before He spoke. I'm sure He took a moment to watch that young man as he walked away, to read his body language the way he could, as only the Son of God can, reading the thoughts, the heart, the mind, fueling the spirit, tempering the conscience, but watching him walking away, watching the commas not take effect. It was then that he turned to his disciples and he said, "Truly I tell you, it is hard for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. Again, I tell you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven." The eye of the needle that he refers to are the openings among kingdom walls that were commonplace to drag your pack animal, the camel, the mule. These animals were marauders' number one source of income to steal, also to take of one's life. So the eye of the needle is an opening that was both difficult but necessary to save both yourself and your animal from marauders approaching, storms and whatnot. The eye of the needle is not key in this lesson. It is just used as an example. It is the commas. Let's study the commas a moment. The rich young man wants to know what he is lacking. Jesus answers by saying, if you want to be perfect, comma. Perfect in a sense of godliness and righteousness. For we know, friends, that while in the flesh, bad flesh is almost impossible to be perfect. But we hear of these perfect games, like the Patriots having so far a perfect season, or a fighter with an undefeated record, or an artist with a beautiful painting of near perfection. Jesus says, if you want to be perfect, comma, go. Comma. Go, as in settle on your direction. Focus on where you're going. Decide on what path to take. And then sell your possessions and give to the poor. Not sell all your possessions, though in Luke it says sell everything and give to the poor. Sell your possessions and give to the poor. But don't give all, because then you'll be poor. That was the logical conclusion. But sell your possessions. Oh, friends, how many possessions do we not have? We could surely use unloading some. Sell your possessions and give to the poor. And then you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, comma. That means turn around. You've done your worldly part. Make your decision within the commas. Decide. And Jesus told the rich young man at the very end, come, follow me. Come, comma, follow me. Come, follow me. Your possessions are nothing but possessions. But your treasures in heaven, your treasures in heaven, where no robber can get to them, will be there when you have followed him to eternal life. The importance of commas in the teaching of the rich young man. Shalom.